Hello, welcome to the Redmen TV. This is Ben Doak, the story so far. And to make this, I've spoken to some of the people who know Ben best of all, and some of those who were involved in his early development. One of them is the former head scout at Ayr United Academy, Ray Patterson. I also spoke to Liam Anderson, one of his coaches, and Willie Alexander to get some brilliant insight in what exactly Ben was like when he was a little bit younger than he is now. Now, you were the head scout at Ayr United Academy, and I think I'm right in saying you're the man who unearthed Ben Doak. So tell us how you came across him, tell us how it happened, and tell us what your first thoughts were.
Yep. Got information about the Rye Boys Club. It's a small town just above North Ayrshire, and the team he was playing with was doing well. So we went up, you know how information goes about, and we seen the team playing, and they were very good. It was in an Astra pitch, a wee cage thing, you know, the cages they have. And Ben stuck out right away. He was the youngest in the team, and just scoring goals is for fun, you know. Hard to pin down, hard to knock off the ball. And I thought, well, there's something here. And I think I did move the first time. I can't remember now, but I maybe went back again, seen him again. I think I possibly did. And it was excellent again. So I made the approach that to Evan Ferns, who was the manager, and done a great job with that team. He said, no problem. We'll get him in. He's that bit younger. We couldn't sign him at that time. We didn't have a policy to sign players at that younger age group. Ben was 9, I think. But you couldn't take your eyes off him for his kick him up and down the park as to say, and he bounced back.
You came across him when he was very young, obviously. What were your first impressions of Ben? When did you first see him and what did you notice?
So we saw him, we were taking under 10s at the time, and he was playing up a year. But Ben, he was just a special talent. He would light up the game. He was just this fiery attacking player. I loved taking players on his speed and his skills, and he would score lots and lots of goals at that age. Also provided a lot as well, and we just knew he had something. And it was really good. So we used him. We had him at under 10s, and then we had him for a short period at under 11s before Celtic come in and got him. But he was a special talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you mentioned sort of how you used him there in his goal scoring prowess and the fact he was assisting as well. Was he always just an attacker then? Was that what he wanted to be? He wanted to get the ball and make things happen. I mean, most kids want to be an attacker, I guess, don't they? Nobody grows up wanting to be Gary Neville, to use that old quote. But was he always get me on the ball, let me run at defenders and let me score goals, basically?
Yeah, he was full of confidence, and he was just he was such good with skills and technique and ability. He was one of those special talents. You don't get many of them, but he had it all.
Yeah, absolutely. You obviously seen a lot of youngsters come through the academy, and some make it, some not make it. Obviously, could you tell with Ben straight away that he was a little bit different? There was something special there. You've mentioned his talent. Was he unique? Could you tell straight away that if this kid doesn't make it, God help the rest of them, basically?
Oh, definitely. He's head and shoulders above everybody else. He was hungry, and he was always wanting to learn. His behaviour at training was really, really good, and he just had it. Even his technique, his ability, he was just so good on the ball, and always willing to learn. He was a great player. But we have saw a few for United now. We've had under 11s breaking into first team, but Ben, he's just such a special talent.
And when could you tell you what, this kid's a little bit special?
Pretty much straight away, to be honest. When I joined the academy, Ben was with the under 11s. And he was a year younger than everyone else, so all the boys were 10 and he was 9 years old. And he was smaller than everyone else, but he was so powerful and so raw. You know, it was like almost comparing to a young Wayne Rooney. It's just so raw, so powerful, working without the ball, but had a real eye for goal as well. And even going against older players and training in games, you would never think he was younger. You know, like he had a kind of older aura about him when he was playing. So to answer your question, pretty much straight away you could tell this kid has something for sure.
Were you around at the time of his Celtic move? Did it take you by surprise at all, or was it just feel like a natural progression that Scotland's biggest club, sorry Rangers fans, would come calling for somebody like Ben Doak? That just feel normal?
Yeah, I was at the game against Hamilton, Accies, when he got scouted. So for the under 11s, we had mostly 10-year-olds, of course. Ben was 9, but we could only sign 10-year-olds, so we couldn't sign any players who were under 10 years old. So Ben was one of those ones that we had in the under-11s, and we couldn't really tie him up, sadly. So I still remember seeing the Celtic scout at the game, Jim Began, who actually scouted me a long time ago. And when he was at Rangers a long time ago, so I remember seeing him there and thinking, I've got a funny feeling I know why he's here. He's probably watching Ben, And that day, we played 2 7v7 games, and I think he scored like 9 goals over the 2 games. He was incredible, and there and then I just thought, yeah, he's going to be there for Ben, and I was right. He approached Ben and his family, and of course, at the time you're sad he leaves, but at the same time you're like it's inevitable. It was the right move for him.
What it is for me, it's just how fearless he is, and he doesn't care who he's up against, does he? Has he always been like that? You mentioned sort of playing age groups above him. He just doesn't care. He gets the ball and he goes, doesn't he?
Yes, that's what's maybe in the game that we need nowadays, in my opinion, that is. And he was the same when he was younger. You would see sometimes we boys that player knocked it down, but he kept going, and it was a nuisance to defenders even at that young age. And I thought, this wee guy, he's got something here, and another few months and we could have signed him. I think how it panned out. But that's how it went, and we understand him going to Celtic, in which he was excellent with Celtic, and broke into he played in the Lowland League. Then he broke into the reserves, I think. They played him, and then obviously Liverpool came in, which, as I say, pleased that he's going to Anfield.
He's 17, playing senior football for Liverpool, and a lot more to come, I think. There's no doubt about that. And I take it you've kept a close eye on his development there, and obviously played in an Old Firm derby for Celtic before moving on, and now we've seen what he's doing at Liverpool through the academy, and like I say, a little bit under Jurgen Klopp as well. You must be very proud of what he's gone on to do.
Well, definitely. When he came on against Rangers in a 3-0 win, and that's when I started taking more interest in him, because I obviously lost track over the couple of years, but I watched a lot on YouTube, his academy stuff at Liverpool, and that type of player you see there is what he was like in the Pro Youth system with us. He's such a talent.
What's amazed me most about him in terms of the brief appearances he's made for Liverpool is that fearless nature. Like, he doesn't care who he's up against. He doesn't care who the opponent is. Like, he played against Bayern Munich in a pre-season game, and he's like, yeah, give me the ball, I'll run at someone, I'm not bothered. Whereas a lot of youngsters will be quite timid, and they might lend the ball and then give it back to a more senior lad, not Ben Doak. So I think taking it in his stride is sort of his key attribute, and like I say, that fearless nature. But in terms of Scotland, and I suppose in terms of his Liverpool career as well, like, the sky's the limit for him, isn't it? Like, with somebody of his raw natural talent and his pace and his power and his direct running, like, he's going, I say this, he should be able to become a Scotland and Liverpool star of the future, would you say?
For sure, he has the potential. He still has, obviously, strides to make, right? And kind of breaking into the first team at Liverpool and getting that first call up. But he has all the ingredients for sure. And I think, again, it comes down to his mentality. As you said, with being a young player, it's easy to be kind of shy away in different things. But there's just that no fear factor with him. And I think he's just going to keep pushing on. I really do. I know some Liverpool fans are saying about maybe he goes on loan and everything, but the fact that I think that Jurgen Klopp's kept him in the first team and has already used him this season shows how highly that Klopp rates him. And if Klopp rates him, then he must be good, So I would love to see him in the national team setup as well. I think obviously the national team's doing so well too, and they maybe don't want to rush him. And he's doing so well with the under-21s. Like, I've seen clips of his game against, I think it was Spain under-21s. There's a little highlight reel, and wow, I think he played up front by himself in like a 5-4-1. I might be wrong on that, but even there, he looked incredible. He looked, again, just that no fear factor, just taking players on. Every time he got the ball, he made something happen, and that's Ben in a nutshell, And
you've seen a lot of youngsters. You've worked with a lot of youngsters.
Yeah.
Does Ben stand out even from the ones you've seen down the years? Is he the extra special one?
There's a lot of good young talent come through, particularly at the young age. But you can think back in Ben playing, I think you can. And I think his directness too, nowadays, for me, is good. I think when he played in the wing and also playing and through the middle, as you say, he played through the middle when he was with Ayr. But on the wing, I mean, he's a threat to defenders. I think he's obviously picked up a few injuries when you are a threat, I think you tend to pick up injuries nowadays. But you'd still always remember him.
you've worked with Ben, you've seen him, you've helped him grow, you've helped him become what he is now. I mean, any sort of lasting memories from your time with him or anything? What moment stands out to you the most, would you say?
But I was looking through old match reports just when you were asking me to come on, and I was looking at things, and it was saying, like, when we were playing Hearts, that 3 defenders were coming on him to try and get the ball off him. And then it was talking about weaving through packed defences and even hitting free kicks. He was scoring wonder goals. It was just, there's so many to pick from. He was so good every time. Honestly, when he was on that pitch, he just lit up the game. He was really, really good.
Thank you so much for watching and indeed listening to Ben Doak, The Story So Far, Part 1. I also want to say thank you to Ray, Billy and Liam for their participation and all their great stories of the young Scotsman. Make sure you check out Part 2, which will be coming up very, very shortly.